Hey guys, Joe Franco here, and it's another post-workout chatter. Today was a volume hamstring day. So this is actually one of my favorite workouts, only because my hamstrings suck. I think it's because I lacked them or didn't neglected them in my first years of training, where I did squat a lot, because that's always been a strong thing of mine, but the hamstrings have always been behind. No pun intended. I mean, it's, part of it I think is genetic. Part of it is what it is. I do train them really hard, and that's why I like having the hamstring only day. Years ago when I used to play baseball, I did have a reoccurring hamstring issue, and if you look close enough when I'm lean enough, you can actually see where I strained it or pulled it. I mean, it was pretty bad, where if I was going to a more prestigious college and playing ball, they probably would have recommended surgery instead of just rubbing some dirt on it. So anyway, it is what it is, but that's not going to stop me from still trying. To the workout, I led off with deadlifts, conventional deadlifts, and with my new rep scheme that I started for squat and the sumo deadlifts, applying it to this. I'm a little bit stronger on the conventionals versus the sumo, and I worked up to my number and did 4 sets of 8 reps. A little bit higher rep scheme than usual, knocked me out, but I hit it, and I'll definitely try more weight next time for that same percentage. Moved on to leg curls. And I did a bunch of sets, 6, 7, 8, lost track, and then I moved on to dumbbell leg curls, which is, you actually feel it on the inner hamstring a little bit more, something I like. Again, higher reps with that, slow and controlled. And then I finished up with some high reps on my version of a stiff-legged deadlift. And how I perform that exercise is that I like to touch the bottom. I will pause with the weight on the bottom, and it helps because I have a shorter leg length, so I'm not compromising my back as much, but I get a better stretch and I feel like I get more out of the exercise. So I did about 3 of those at the end, and then, believe it or not, some hip work, hip mobility stuff to loosen up, throwing some calves, and I just finished up my cool down for about 10-11 minutes here on the bike. So that pretty much wraps up the hamstring workout for the volume. I have one more volume workout before I go back into the power type split, in which I started off with these post-workout chatters. And tomorrow will be shoulders and triceps, and I'll go into that after I do the workout. Question that I got, and not so much a question, but someone looking for posing help, and they couldn't make it to my class, nor could they have made it to my house or whatnot, because they live a little bit further out of the way. Posing is, I rant about it all the time on Facebook, only because as a promoter, competitor, judge, it kills you when you see someone, and I'm going to keep this short, it kills you when you see someone that looks great, their tan looks great, but they don't know what they're doing. And I can honestly tell you, there's been a handful of occasions where I'm judging, I see 2 people that are really close in physique, and I give it to the person that knows how to present themselves. That is part of the sport, okay? Like it or not, you may have a great physique, but if you don't know how to show it off right, it's sorry, it's point blank. I even see pros who look fantastic, but I shake my head, and I'm talking about the last couple of years. A couple of guys, I don't know what they're doing. They look awkward. They look like they're in pain. Posing, you should practice at least 3 months out. If you need a number, 3 months out. And you don't have to do it every day. Just learn first. Go to someone that knows what they're doing, or hopefully you think they know what they're doing. Learn how to do it first. That's it, because you look at those who do know how to pose properly, it's no effort. You just fall right into it, and they're great conditioning, they're great physique, pops. They're not squeezing super hard. You should be able to hold have a conversation. These are the things I always go over in my class. Now, once you learn how to pose, you obviously want to build the conditioning and the stamina up, because you never know how long you're going to be on stage. That is another thing. You may see someone that looks great posing, but they fade out as the time they're on stage. And the guideline that I like to give is for every person that's on stage, figure a good minute. So 10 people, at least 10 minutes. Unless the class is super tight, you're going to be on stage much longer. Or if it's pretty easy to judge, unfortunately, you're not going to be up there as long. So that happens also. So once you learn how to pose properly and you're comfortable, you want to practice to build up the stamina. That is so important. You should be able to hold it for 10, 15 minutes, go through the rounds, practice, practice, practice. It's that simple. Videotape yourself practicing. A little trick or a little tip that I like to give, if you have you can do it on YouTube or a DVD of a show, face the mirror or not, you don't want to get used to the mirror, and play the class that's being judged and listen to the head judge giving out the poses and follow through. It's a great way to practice. That's for bodybuilders, bikini, whatever. Just practice. A few people that I do suggest, because we're like, well, I can't see you, Joe, I can't make the class. There's a few people around, so please feel free to email me. People in Connecticut, Jersey, Maryland, up and down the coast, I highly recommend, and I've suggested them, people to go to. All right, guys, that wraps up today's post-workout chatter. Again, hit me up with any questions in the comment section, or email me, or comment on the Facebook page, and feel free to share. Thanks, guys.